I'm going to show you how I set up my helmet for motovlogging on this episode of Wrenchie. Hey, welcome back to Wrenchie. Thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It really helps. And click the little bell icon so you get notified of when new videos come out. Although YouTube's a little strange now of not alerting, I've been told. So, check in on the channel periodically or check me on Facebook. And there's more conversations going on there. Today I wanted to follow up and hopefully finish the GoPro mount saga mounting on the helmet. If you haven't seen the beginning of those videos, I'll link it up here or something, or also in the description. But my goal was to mount my GoPro on my Shoei GT Air, and I mounted on the chin. I didn't want to mount on the side, too much wind resistance, and same for the top. But I did want to get that first-person rider perspective, and so wherever I turn, the camera points as well. The challenge of putting on the GT Air on the chin is that it's not flat, and we needed to figure a way to mount it on there because the standard GoPro mounts, whether flat or curved, won't work. And so I found a video from MC Rider, Kevin and MC Rider, who used this Sugru moldable glue. Anyway, it's like a putty. It hardens after about 30 minutes or so to a rubber and sticks everything together real nice. In fact, this is the result, and you can see the big block of Sugru on there holding the GoPro mount on the helmet. So this seems to work pretty well. I've used it a few times. It's very stable, it's very solid. So that part worked out pretty well. The next challenge was to get a microphone inside the helmet for vlogging. And in order to do that, I had to get the GoPro, the GoPro Mic adapter. Of course, they were sold out, and I had to wait for them to come back into stock, and they're $50 a pop, and they look like this. And it's got a USB-C adapter that goes into the camera. And on the other end, it's got another USB-C female and a mic jack. I don't know if you can see that as well, but that's right here. Yeah. So that's $50. I think this is an abomination of design and real ripoff, frankly, GoPro. I think Sony has a better setup. You can plug a mic straight in and off you go. Well, then I bought another case for the GoPro, and this one here. It's an aluminum case. The back comes off. It has a little panel that slides in. Excuse me. Guess I'm coming down with a cold. And a little adapter here that I'll show you how this all works. But this seems to work pretty well. I like the UV lens that screws on because I've ridden it now a couple times and hit crap loads of butterflies, and they stuck here onto the UV lens, which is easy to clean off rather than sticking to the GoPro itself. So I think that was pretty good. But then I had to figure out where to mount this thing, and I tried a whole bunch of ideas, and none of them worked. One of them was maybe using the Sugru and sticking it up here, but I guess I could have put it right here. This is a hot shoe that I on the top, or actually it's a cold shoe, I should say. for microphone or flash or whatever. And I'd have to take that off, which it just screws on with a screw there. So I could take that off and screw this thing on top of it, but then I'd never be able to put a microphone on here if I wanted to. And so what I found was this adapter that was made for this case, and I'll link these below so you can see those yourself. It's made by Luxbell, Luxebell. I guess that's how you pronounce it. And it is a case that is made for this stupid adapter. Let me show you how this all goes together. So you take your GoPro and you just drop it in the back. There's this little ball which is spring-loaded, and it fits into this little indentation on this plate. And what I found, and you just slide this plate in here, what I found is you need to really depress that ball and then it slides in just fine. Same way taking it out. If you want to take it out, you need to depress the ball and it comes right out. So you slide this in and it seems to hold in pretty well and snaps in. And then there's this little thumb screw which just holds the camera from vibrating back and forth in the case. So it's really light. Just touching, that's it. And that's all you need. And the camera's in and everything's great. So I've pulled off the cover that holds the, that covers up the USB-C port on the phone. And what you do is you slide the adapter into this space here and connect it up to your phone. So, sorry, there you go. So that's pretty good, but there's this, you know, I don't know, this could vibrate out and I'm not sure that's a good idea. So it comes with this little doobob here and a thumb screw, and the way that's supposed to work is, whoop, is this goes into a threaded hole here. Let me get that started. There you go. And then it grabs the cable from the adapter like that. And you just snug it down. That's in, yep. There you go. And that's supposed to hold the cable into the phone and puts a little bit of a kink, more of a bend in it than I would have liked, but it's fine, I guess. This end of the container of the holder is blocked off except for the access to the USB-C port and the microphone jack. So it won't come out this way, and it really won't come out this way because the cable's all held in this way. It's held into the phone and it's in there tight. So so far it seems to work okay. And then I just attached the GoPro mount with some screws to the bottom. It's got drilled holes and threaded holes for that. I put a little blue thread locker on these holes, on these threads here to hold that in, as well as there's a couple of screws it comes with that go into threaded holes in the bottom. And I put some thread locker on that to hold this in there so the screws don't back out. So that's the contraption. So I already showed you this little guy. Made him up. He's just the curved GoPro mount. I guess it's kind of called the J mount. This guy, and a couple of adapters, arm adapters here, and I put some screws in those rather than the thumb screw, rather than these thumb screws, just for aesthetics and whatnot. And so the GoPro just mounts up like so. I did decide to put a couple of extensions on here to give me a little bit of flexibility in where it's pointing, as well as I needed to get it a little bit out in front because this this holder raises the camera, you know, whatever, 3/4 of an inch, an inch up. And at one point it was just in my field of view. It wasn't blocking anything, but it was distracting. So I put an extra adapter on here to, you know, lower it down a little bit and give me some more adjustment. Okay, so, and then there you go. That's kind of how the whole thing goes together, right? And the thumb screw goes in. Well, I'm not going to put it in because I'm going to show you something else. So the other thing I was worried about was a tether. So I fabricated myself one. This is stainless steel 1/16 of an inch braided wire that is coated with a vinyl coating to make it a full outside diameter of 1/8 of an inch. These are stainless steel connectors that I've used to make loops at the end, at both ends. And then, I don't think this is stainless, but it's a really cheap little swivel connector. I think it's called a lobster connector to spring loaded. And this is the tether that holds the GoPro in case it breaks loose from the helmet and I don't lose a $400 GoPro. So this is, it works it's pretty self-explanatory. The thumb screw goes through the loop. Oh, all the black stuff on there, that's heat shrink I just put on there for, you know, so it doesn't scratch anything and just, I don't know, I think it just looks cleaner. And then, let's see, let's put it on the right side up here. And then we attach the GoPro, like so. Put the thumb screw in. And that all so far makes sense, right? Okay, so now we've got the tether onto the GoPro. This clips to the D-ring of my helmet strap. So we turn this whole thing over. You won't need that. That's a helmet liner. So I have a quick connect on my helmet here. And the D-rings are just hanging loose underneath this, not doing anything. So I fabricated this just long enough so that it doesn't bounce around in the wind and slap me in the face and rub against the helmet. Just long enough to go to that. And so I can take the helmet on and off. I can work the connector. It's completely out of the way. It's working. I don't even know it's there. And it's working really well. So I'm really happy with this. So the next part is the microphone. So let's talk microphone. Okay, this is the first microphone I bought. It's I don't know, it's like $25 or something like that. It's a lapel mic. It's got a little clip that you can clip it onto your under collar or whatnot. It's got a little piece of junk here, air, wind sock, which doesn't stay on. I tried to figure out how to get it on. I zip tied it with a small zip tie. That's why it's kind of crinked in the middle. And I mounted the helmet, and it was just okay. Had some issues. I'll probably put some of the test video into this one so you can hear it. I bought one of these, a Purple Panda. It too is fairly inexpensive, about the same price actually. This one though came with a bunch of other stuff. First of all, came in a nice little bag. It has a, this is a, looks like a micro USB to a microphone connector in the bag. I don't need that one, but in case you do, it comes with that. It comes with another big, well, let's see, did I put it back in the bag? Yeah, it comes with another long extension cable. I'm not sure how long this is, but it looks pretty big. So if you're, standing back from your camera and you want to wear your mic and you're vlogging, or maybe you're filming someone, this is, so you can do that. It is wired. It comes with a little clip. It's this metal for clipping it onto the lapel, and the microphone gets clipped in here. What else? It comes with, wow, it comes with 2 of them. Huh, nice. And it comes with a adapter that goes from the microphone's 3-band, which is on the mic, to a 2-band, which is what the GoPro needs. I think the 2 means stereo and the 3 is something else. I don't know. You can look it up. But the GoPro needs 2. And so that's one of the things I have to figure out which mics are compatible. And this one was compatible because it has this adapter. So what I've done is I took this set adapter and I just wrapped a small piece of Velcro on the side of it. And I put a small piece of Velcro right here. And this, how do I have it? This just Velcros onto that, then plugs in to the camera. Like so. Then, inside the helmet, I'm going to untether myself here so I can move stuff around a little bit better. Inside the helmet, I have mounted the microphone right here. That's the little fuzzy dead cat. I hate that because I have cats. I love my cats. But the wind sock that it comes with, failed to mention, it comes with one of those. It also comes with a foam rubber one as well, which does seem to stay on a lot better. The other thing I would point out is that this microphone, get it back over here. This first one I tried, you can see the mic element is pointing, straight out along the cable run, right? It's not out, it's that way, right? That's what this one does. This new one, the blue purple Panda, actually has mics on either side of the barrel. So instead of going straight out like that, it's actually on the sides. So that seems to be a better situation for what I'm doing, since the microphone is mounted in this fashion here, in this orientation. What I've done is just simply take the wire and put it between the cheek pad, and the extra wire is just bundled up similar to this with a little bit better tie. But it's bundled up and just pushed behind the cheek pad here, which, they snap in and out. And then I took the lead and I also put a piece of Velcro. Let me pull it off. You won't be able to see this, unfortunately, because it's way in the helmet. But right up in the chin bar, put another piece of Velcro just to hold it and basically just store it when I'm not using it. And there's the other end of it. And it's just long enough to hook up with the adapter, and then that's it. And so when it's all said and done, that's the riding configuration, right? So I've got the GoPro mounted on the helmet. I've got the adapter in its little container. I got the mic adapter in its little holder. I've got the microphone adapter plugged into it, Velcroed onto the side here, which runs back into the microphone itself. And then I guess I can show you, right? Show you again. The tether will be connected to the D-ring. And again, you do this when you're out, just like I'm doing now when you're not riding, and now you're ready to go. So that is the full configuration. This is adjustable for depending on what angle you want. If you're riding, you're kind of in this orientation. So you can see that's cut, you want to point it I like to put it back a little bit so it's more of a level image when I'm recording. And there you go. So what do I think about this? I think it's a lot more work than I ever thought it was going to be, frankly. I did not think it was going to be this much of a pain in the butt, but it is. So we'll see what the quality looks like. Here, let me show you how I just stow this up. Here's the mic lead that goes to the mic. There's the adapter. I've just stuck it onto the Velcro. Literally, I just reach up where the microphone is, and it's just below that is another piece of Velcro, and boom, that's it. Unclip it, and take the GoPro off, and that's it. That's the whole thing. So I guess the next thing to do is take a look at some of the video I shot with it today with that exact setup, and let's take a listen to the audio. A couple things to note, look for. I'm looking for clarity and voice, no wind noise. The helmet's pretty quiet, generally speaking, but there's still wind noise. And I noticed in the other one with this, where's the other one? Yeah, with this other microphone, there was a lot of wind noise. This little doodad didn't do anything as far as I can tell, as far as taking out wind noise. I didn't change any settings on the camera, so the settings between the two mics are the same. So as I was saying, there's some issues with the first go around with the first microphone. I heard a lot of popping and crackling in the audio. I'll put some of that in here so you can hear it and hear the difference between the two. I tried it again with the new settings, including turning off my cell phone. I was trying to control the phone through the GoPro app on my iPhone, and what I've read is that Bluetooth connection can interfere with the external mic. That is a firmware problem in my humble opinion, and that should be fixed. It apparently hasn't, if that is the cause. So I tried it again without the GoPro app. Also, quick start, I think it's called, where you just, with the phone's off and you just press the record button and it turns on and starts recording. That too can cause some external mic problems. At least that's what I've read. I don't know, but that's what I've read. So on the old microphone, I turned on the camera manually, powered it on, did not use the phone to control it. They had also said put your phone in airplane mode. I'm not a fan of that because I need it on the bike for other reasons. So if that's what it takes, that I'm going to talk to GoPro about that. But I didn't do that. But I didn't control either mic with the phone. I controlled it manually, simply powering on the phone, powering on the camera, and manually starting to record and manually stopping the record. One thing, so theoretically, I've done that. So I already did that with the other mic, and you'll hear there's some issues with it. I'm not happy with that. So I got the Purple Panda, same thing. So same conditions. So we'll take a listen to that one and see how that sounds. So here we go. I did a test with the mic and everything hooked up, and it worked. The sound was not great. I had a lot of popping in it, and the stupid GoPro just stopped recording. I started this by hand, pushing buttons, turned it on, and my phone is not connected. The guy said he put it on airplane mode, so I think that's What a mess. They don't close it for motorcycles, just bicycles. Well, that's cool. It'll be a are we allowing left turns? Yes, we are. Awesome. City is just messed up this race. I see why people like to share their experience in setting up a blocking helmet, because it's not as straightforward as I thought. And hence I'll be sharing this one. I'm sure I've made 1,001 rookie mistakes, and I'd love to hear your ideas on how you've done it, if you've run into any of these same problems, and how you solved them. You know, I've done the best I could so far. So there you go. You can clearly hear the popping and distortion and hissing and whatnot in the old microphone, where the Purple Panda had none of that at all. The phone settings were identical. The camera settings were identical between the two mics. So I'm suggesting it must be the microphone. The wind noise, I'm gonna have to listen to it again when I edit this whole thing together. I was listening to them, through the computer, side by side. There's still some wind noise in the Purple Panda, but I think it's muted a little bit more than in the old mic. I'll have to double check that and see. Maybe that's just, maybe that's a setting in the camera I can check. They've got the wind suppression setting in there, and I don't know whether that'll make a difference or not. Please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the little bell so you get your notifications of new videos when they come out. And as always, ride safe and keep wrenching. Later.